We are Group 1 and our presentation is on autism.
Okay, our first slide talks about low incidence disabilities. They include health impairments, visual impairments, hearing impairments, physical disabilities, severe and multiple disabilities. They are acquired after birth and caused by either trauma, infection, child abuse, disease, etc. They make up for less than 20% of all students with disabilities, and they have usually received some type of special education service for most of their life.
So this next one talks about autism characteristics, and autism can exist in a lot of variations, and so they do not have specific characteristics. So they can range from mild to severe, and one disorder cannot be treated. So one characteristic that autistic students may have is social relationships, in which they avoid human contact and social interactions, and it can be seen at a young age. It also makes it hard for them to learn skills that are related to social interactions, and oftentimes they do not make eye contact with others and seem uninterested in developing social relationships. Another characteristic is communication, and if they have delayed language development, then they have a hard time interacting. And so if they have some sort of language skills, then they struggle to maintain conversation with their peers. And they may not be able to communicate their feelings or write about what they're feeling, so they will express it in behavior. And then some students will have echolalia speech, and that is where they repeat what others have already said to communicate their thoughts instead of communicating their thoughts. And then they also have specific interests, and they're very narrow, and so they don't branch out from what they're interested in. They will just study one topic for hours and hours, and then they will seem uninterested in everything else unless it is related to what they have studied. And then the last one that it talks about is that autistic students have a low threshold of stress and often have a difficult time dealing with it. So they may respond in anxiety, and this can be caused by changes in the classroom or new routines. And they will express that they are stressed by doing a behavior over and over again.
So there's things that we as teachers can do to provide instructional support for students with autism. One important thing is recognizing and responding to behavior. So with the right interventions, most students with autism should be able to be educated in a normal classroom. And we should create a structured and predictable environment and provide opportunities during the day for them to work alone. Some effective techniques are social stories, picture exchange communication system, and visual schedules. And the next slide shows some examples of a visual schedule, which is on the left, and then the picture on the right shows an example of a picture exchange communication system. So these things just help them be able to communicate more effectively.
Some statistics with autism is the number of total students with autism is 406,957. The percentage of all students receiving IDEA services is 7.03%, and the percentage of students ages 6 to 21 with autism is 59%. Autism is usually identified in infancy or early childhood. It adversely impacts their educational performances, and it is characterized by impairments in communication, learning, and recopial social interactions. And here are our resources.